Chick-fil-A could be the newest fast food restaurant in Hyannis. Barnstable Little League hopes to get community preservation funds to complete the new field in Hyannis. And we get details about a recent drug bust from Police Chief Paul MacDonald. These stories and more on this episode of Barnstable Today. It's Tuesday, March 24th, 2015. I'm Sarah May. The Planning Board is the first stop for Chick-fil-A executives who want to build a drive-through location at the Cape Cod Mall in Hyannis. Attorney Michael Ford represents the Cape Cod Mall. He talked about the plan during last night's Planning Board meeting.
A little history first, if I might. Back in 1996 was when the shopping center redevelopment overlay district was created. It is an overlay zone. It overlays three other zoning districts: the highway business zone off of 28 and off of 132, which is the area that we're concerned with here, the business zone where the mall proper is, and there is also another overlay district out there, which is the groundwater protection district. So this is an area that currently has two overlays, the SCROD and the GP zone, and two underlying zoning districts, the HB and the B districts. The SCROD district was created for the purpose of redevelopment and expansion of the then Cape Cod Mall. Subsequent to the creation of the SCROD overlay zone back in 1998, permits were issued for the redevelopment and expansion of the mall from the Cape Cod Commission. There was a DRI permit that issued that still governs the property, including the property sought to be rezoned. A special permit was issued from the Barnstable Board of Appeals. And pursuant to those two permits, the mall was expanded and redeveloped into its current state. In 2008, so now fast forward another 10 years, the Town Council amended the SCROD district on the Route 28 side of the mall property.
Ford went on to say that the parking area in question is not being used right now.
We're involved with just a very small designated area of the SCROD that is isolated, that was initially set aside for mall parking. And of course, those of us who are familiar with the mall and with its use and that area of Hyannis over these many years know that it has not been used for mall parking because the mall simply hasn't needed it, and it is not logistically in a good spot for someone to park and walk to the mall, either for work or to go shopping. And so the parking lot has kind of fallen into a state of disrepair. It hasn't been used, and it is that section and that section alone that would be the subject of this particular amendment.
After much discussion, the Planning Board voted 3-2 in favor of supporting the move. That request will now go before Town Council for approval. Chick-fil-A executives will also need approvals from the Cape Cod Commission and site plan review. Barnstable Little League hopes community preservation funds will help pay for Phase 2 of the construction of the new baseball field behind the Barnstable Community Horace Mann Charter Public School. Ed Pesci with Pesci Engineering updated the committee during last night's meeting.
Back before you, as most of you will remember, last summer we came before this board to this committee to request some funds to build Phase 1 of the Little League field behind the Barnstable Community Horace Mann Public School, formerly Hyannis East. And I'm really proud to say that Phase 1 construction, we had estimated a budget of $175,000 for Phase 1. The number, the estimate was $175,000. The actual cost came in at $172,770. From that, some funds also from CPC here, as well as other charitable donations from the Lyndon Russo Charitable Foundation and other both families and businesses provided $155,000 altogether and the remaining 17,770 is being covered by the proceeds from Barnstable Little League. So we got to phase one pretty well. No thanks, certainly in a large part to Mr. Scott and his efforts under construction. The field is, the phase one involved the turf, the moving around of the earth, the demolition of the old field that was there, the old pavement, asphalt that was there, installation of new drainage system, turf fencing, infield clay and sand mix, and laying it all out. It is now ready for play this spring. So it's really exciting to see it go up and be ready to be played. Phase two involves site lighting, bleachers, some paving repairs, final site bioretention swale plantings, which is the drainage system, as-built survey plans, maintenance tools, and scoreboard mounting and installation. The total that we have estimated for that phase two, and I have a budget which you'll get if this board wishes to continue. The total phase two budget's $142,000. We also got an additional $25,000 donation from the Lyndon P. LaRusso Charitable Foundation. That $25,000 subtracts from the $142,000, leaving $117,000, and that is the request we have before you today.
The Community Preservation Committee voted unanimously to move the project to application status. Little League officials plan to go back before the Community Preservation Committee with a full application during its next meeting in May. Cops with Cancer award a 2-year-old Hyannis resident with $5,000. To learn more, Barnstable This Morning host Sarah Colvin talked with Police Chief Paul MacDonald. We share a portion of that interview with you now.
Let's talk a little bit about Cops for Kids with Cancer. What can you tell me a little bit about this?
This was a great event. Cops for Kids with Cancer, they notified us a couple of weeks ago that they were coming down here. There was a young child, a 2-year-old child in Hyannis who suffered with cancer. They wanted to come down. They wanted to make a contribution to the family. You know, it's a great event. They came down Wednesday. The family came in, and it was a two-year-old little boy. He was the cutest little kid you would ever see. He suffered from leukemia, and the Cops for Kids gave him a check for $5,000. This is a little bit different. This money is to go to the families, to help the family. They're going through difficult times, you know, help them with their expenses, help them with their rent, help them with their mortgage payments, whatever they might need. It's not to help with the medical bills. So this is a great event. And the Cops for Kids with Cancer was telling me they do this in the average of 6 times a month. So they give out approximately $30,000 a month. It started in the city of Boston, then it stretched out to the Commonwealth of Massachusetts, and now they cover the entire New England area. And this is the second time in 2 years they've been down to Hyannis, so it was great. I'm glad we had the opportunity to host it here at the station.
Indeed, and those medical expenses, Chief, can get pretty high up there, and not to mention, you know, taking care of regular, normal daily life. So I think anything to help out these families who are going through such a tragic event is
It is such a tragic event, and it's such a great little kid.
Indeed. Last thing I wanted to talk about, Chief, you mentioned there was a drug arrest over the past week.
There was a substantial drug arrest. We arrested two individuals on Sunday. Patty Ann Pond out of Taunton, Mass., and Kenneth Vieira. Kenneth Vieira is always on our watch list. He's an individual who lives out in Masters Mills. We've executed 2 search warrants on his house. He's out on bail for 3 separate different charges. Detectives were following him around all weekend. Sunday afternoon, they located him on Compass Road. He met up with Patty Ann Pond, who we know is a dealer out of the Taunton area. We watched the transaction go down, and both of them were subsequently arrested. One was possession with cocaine and heroin, and the other one was possession of cocaine with intent to distribute. And what's big about this is Mr. Vieira, we were in court yesterday, and we're trying to get his bail revoked because this is one of those individuals. He's a constant, a frequent flyer for us, and is a constant pain. You know, we have this now as 4th charge pending in Barnstable District Court. So hopefully yesterday, as of 4 o'clock yesterday afternoon, we did not receive the information, but now he's being held, but hopefully he's being held.
And Police Chief Paul MacDonald is a guest every Tuesday morning on Barnstable This Morning. We'll be sure to tune in to our hour-long news program, Barnstable This Morning, weekdays at 7 a.m. On tomorrow's show, we will chat with President and CEO of the Hyannis Area Chamber of Commerce, Jessica Silver, for our Business Barnstable segment. We'll talk with Finance Director Mark Milne, plus we'll have all the news and information you need. For Barnstable Today, I'm Sarah Mantle.